Alright, good morning.
Morning.
I'm Kelsey, and I'm going to talk to you guys about Tommy John surgery. So I'm just going to assume that everyone's watched a baseball game and heard about all the pitchers that get hurt all the time and everything. Tommy John surgery is one of the most common surgeries that, especially pitchers will get, and I'll get into why in a little bit. But I'm going to talk to you guys about the history of the surgery itself, the development of the injury, symptoms and diagnosis of it, and the process that the surgery actually does. So the history of it, it's actually the reconstruction of the ulnar collateral ligaments in the inner part of your elbow. So they'll also call it UCL reconstruction. And it's mostly done on college and professional baseball pitchers because throwing overhand is such an awkward thing to do, and it puts a lot of stress on it. And it got its name from Tommy John, who was a professional baseball player, and he was the first successful professional player to get the surgery done in 1974. And he played for the Dodgers, and like I said, he was a pitcher. And out of all the pitchers that have had the surgery, he still has the winningest record with 288 wins. So the development of the injury, like I said, it's just putting a lot of stress on the elbow, and it's on the ligament that connects the forearm and the upper arm. And throwing athletes, like I said, it'll twist and bend the elbow in awkward ways, and it'll put extreme pressure on the ligament and stretch it and lengthen it. And then finally it'll get to the point where it just can't hold the bones tightly, and it'll just start wearing and tearing, and you'll need to have surgery on it. So the symptoms of it, you'll get pain on the inner part of your elbow. It's kind of a given. You'll get kind of a loose and unstable feeling in your elbow. It's kind of hard to explain. But you'll also get irritation of your funny bone, or the ulnar nerve more specifically. And it'll feel like a tingling feeling going down your arm and into your pinky and ring fingers. And it's actually pretty easy to diagnose if you have all of that. You can just get an x-ray or an MRI, and they'll look at it, or they'll inject that dye stuff in your elbow so that they can see it and then give you an MRI. So the process of it, it's actually pretty simple to fix. They'll start by making a 4-inch incision in your elbow, and they'll take a tendon from somewhere else in your body. They can take it from basically anywhere, like your elbow, your knee, your foot, your toe. A lot of times they'll take it from your forearm, and they'll drill holes through the ulna and the humerus, and then they'll take that tendon that they took from somewhere else, and they'll weave it in and out, either in a triangle or a figure-8 pattern. And it sounds kind of painful, but I don't think it would be all that bad. And then to give extra strength to it, they'll take the remnants of the old ligament, and they'll kind of weave it in there with it, so it makes it a little stronger. And then after surgery, you'll just have to go through physical therapy and try to strengthen it all up. And for pitchers, it usually takes about a year, and then after that, it'll take about another year for them to get all the way back up to their original strength and throwing ability. So to just wrap things up, like I said, I talked about the history of the surgery, the development of the injury, symptoms and diagnosis of it, and just the surgical process. And if anyone ever ends up needing it, it's a really successful surgery. It's got an 85 to 90% success rate, and basically 1 in 9 professional pitchers will always come back really well. So.
Does it run through the interior bone, like the ACL? I tore my ACL, so that's the only reason why I know that.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Good.